Okay, this is a typical final exam question. You're given this information, the value for the cotangent, the quadrant it's in, and then you're supposed to find sine of 2 theta. Well, the first thing we have to remember is what is the formula for sine of 2 theta. Okay, we need 2 sine theta cosine theta. Okay, so let me get that back up there. So the first thing we need to remember is sine of 2 theta equals 2 theta, 2 sine theta cosine theta. And that's the only formula for the double angle. So we've been given cotangent. We're going to need to get sine and cosine. This is telling me that theta is in quadrant 4. Okay, so we're going to have to take into account the quadrant when we find sine theta and cosine theta to get this formula. Okay, there's a couple ways we could do this. We can use this in our Pythagorean formula. Okay, so if I do that, I'm going to have negative 24/7 squared plus 1 is equal to cosecant squared. Okay, and so this is going to give me negative 24/7 all squared, and then I'm going to get that as a fraction. Math, enter. Okay, so I've got and then I'm going to rewrite 1 as 49 over 49. Okay. And so over here, 576 plus 49. So I'm going to have 625 over 49 is equal to cosecant squared theta. Then I'm going to take square roots of both sides. When you take square roots of both sides, you're going to get plus or minus. You must make a decision on plus or minus based on the quadrant. Okay. Now, cosecant is the flip of sine, and in quadrant 4, sine is negative. So we're going to have that cosecant is equal to the negative. Okay, so it's negative in quadrant 4 of the square root of 625 over the square root of 49. Okay, so that's the trick we should be using. So I'm going to get negative, and 625, I think that one's nice. I think it's 15, a square root, but let me see. Square root of my answer is 25. Okay, so this is going to be equal to 25, and the square root of 49 is 7. So that tells me that the sine of theta is the negative of 7 over 25. Okay, so here I'm going to have 2 times the negative of 7 over 25. Now all I have to get is cosine of theta, and then we should be set. Okay, so I know sine. What I might do now is use the formula sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta equals 1. And I have sine of theta. So that's going to give me positive 49 over 625. And so I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to subtract that from both sides. So instead of 1, I'm going to have 625 over 625. And then I'm going to put those into one fraction. And I need 625 minus 49 in the numerator. And I get 576. Let me get here. And so I take square roots of both sides. I get plus or minus. But we're in quadrant 4. And in quadrant 4, cosine is positive. So I'm going to choose the positive square root of this. Okay, and so I'm going to have the square root of 625 is 25, and the square root of 576 is 24. So, sine of 2 theta is going to be equal to, well, I'll have a negative, and in the bottom I'll have 25 times 25, which is 625. And in the top I'm going to have, so I already have the negative sign out the front, 2 times 7, which is 14 times 24. And I'll get 336 in the numerator. And I don't think that that reduces. No, it doesn't, because 625 is 25 squared, so it's 5 to the 4th. So it will not reduce. And so that is the answer to our problem. And that ends the video.